Okay, guys, I wanted to go over a couple of questions. We'll just do these two right here. That'll be good. I knew I was doing something. I was looking over something the other day in class, and I knew it was something simple, but I couldn't find it. And after I wrote it down right after class, I figured out what I was doing. And it was just very something simple. And I was going to show y'all right quick what I was doing. And I'll do these problems. And I also took 2.6 off because the way they were writing those questions, it was confusing me and it was confusing everybody else. So we're just going to skip 2.6. There was only 4 questions on there anyway. So let me go to that question. There's 2 questions I'm going to go over in this video. And the first one says, use the difference quotient. That's what it's saying. Of course, it don't say that because that's not sophisticated enough. But use the difference quotient, f of x plus h. Instead of x plus h, you use t plus h. The reason is you can't have 3 variables, and that's what I kept saying the other day. And I didn't even see I was using x plus h. I didn't even see that. I should have been using t plus h. Whatever this variable is, if this variable was q, then you do q plus h. I was just overlooking it. Kind of like when you look at a problem for a long time, you don't see the problem, and then you walk off and you come back to it, you see it. Well, I saw it right after class. F of t plus h minus f of t over h. So I'm going to rewrite our g of t, whatever, g of t plus h minus g of t over h. Anyway, as long as you got the t in there, it's going to work now. 2 parentheses squared minus 3, put that in brackets, because that's going to be f of t plus h, and then minus f of t, or g of t, which is 2t squared minus 3 over h. Then put your t plus h here, and that's going to give you 2 times t squared plus 2th plus h squared minus 3 minus 2t squared plus 3. And that's going to give you 2t squared plus 4th plus 2h squared minus 3 minus 2t squared plus 3 all over h. Take our handy dandy red pen, and let's see, the 2t squareds cancel, and the 3's cancel, and it leaves you with just the h terms, and that's when you know you're doing something right. It's when you have nothing but h terms. You might have a couple of single terms out here, and that's going to equal, I'm going to factor out the h, and that's going to leave you with 4t plus 2h over h. I think I did that right. Let me look. Yeah. And that's going to cancel the h's, and limit, I'll bring it up here. Limit as h approaches 0. We've got to throw the limit theory in there with the calculus. So 4t plus 2h, 4t plus 2h, and that takes that out, and you're left with 4t. So y prime is equal to 4t. Now let's check it with the calculus. 2 times 2 is 4t, good. Now g prime of t is 4t. And plug in a 3. Evaluate the rate of change as indicated at 3. T is equal to 3, so that would be 12. Okay, now let's do this one down here. Again, we've already done this, and I guess it's my fault for not looking at Unit 2, but I thought Unit 2 was going to be just like every other calculus. It was going to be bringing in the derivative, or the limit theory. I thought we were bringing in the limit theory, but they just went over another unit. So I just think it's kind of a waste of time, and it's the easy A for y'all, and it's doubling the difference quotient, which is fine with me. I'm glad it's doing more of the difference quotient. So here we go. We got negative 16 parentheses squared plus 240. And I'm going to put that in brackets because that's going to be my f of t plus h, or g of t plus h. And then minus g of t. Well, g of t is going to be negative 16t squared plus, this is a projectile, plus 240 because of that negative 16t squared. That's a projectile. And that's over h. Limit as h goes to 0. Okay, so I'm going to plug in t plus h again right here. That's going to give you negative 16 times t squared plus 2th plus h squared, parentheses, plus 240. I'm going to go ahead and distribute that. That's going to be plus 16t squared minus 240. I think this is the one we did yesterday. Over h. And I'm just going to put that 16 here. Of course, I know this thing's not going to cooperate, so let me just go ahead and hit the eraser, and I'm going to put that there, 16t squared. Just rewrite it. Negative 16t squared minus the 32th minus 16h squared. I hope I got that right. I did it in my head. And let's see what happens. I'm going to see what I can go ahead and cancel. 240's cancel. The 16t squared's cancel. And it leaves you with the h term, so that's right. And that's going to give you h, negative 32t minus 16h over h, and the h terms go out. Limit theory takes that one out, and you're left g prime of t, or g prime, is equal to negative 32t. Let's check it with calculus that we already know. 2 times negative 16 is negative 32. T and 2 minus 1 is 1, so that would be negative 32t. That is correct. It says use the answer to part A to determine how rapidly, after 1 second, 32 feet per second. Okay? Now, this concludes Unit 2, which is a review of what we went over in Unit 1, the last couple of sections of Unit 1. So, what y'all need to be doing this weekend, or get the homework done as soon as you can. We're talking about Unit 2, whatever homework I have on Unit 2. I think it's Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, and Unit 5. I think. Just look. Unit 2 consists of 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, and 2.5. I think. All right? And I will put up a test, post-test, probably this weekend. Okay? Weekend. We will start Unit 3, which hopefully, to goodness, is going to be derivatives. We will start Unit 3 when y'all come back Tuesday. Okay? So, this is what you need to do. You need to get the homework done before Saturday. I think Friday or Saturday, whenever the cutoff date is. You need to get that done. Look for a test over the weekend in here. Somewhere in here, I'll post the test. And then Tuesday, we're going to start on Unit 3. Okay? So make sure you're ready for Tuesday, okay? And you'll have a week to take, whenever I post the test, you'll have a week to take the test. So don't worry about it. If I post it Monday, then you'll have till next Monday. If I post it Saturday, you'll have next Saturday. So just don't take a chill pill on the test. When you see it, that's when you see it. Other than that, y'all have a good weekend.